Welcome to part 63 of the Kicho Wong Dong series. In this episode, we're going to be looking at a block that didn't have a name when I was training, but sometimes it's called forearm block and sometimes it's called elbow block. The Korean then would either be Pahl Mahk, which is a bit general, which means arm block, or I'm going to call it Pahl Goop Mahk. And it's essentially the move you do in the teapot sequence of Pyeongsamdan. Now, a lot of people think of it as a throw. It can totally be a throw. It can totally be underhooks. We're looking at it from a combative point of view today, and we're looking at it from two areas, the traditional way and the more free sparring way. So to begin with, just think of the Dandaiko drum, like in Karate Kid 2, and just swing your arms back and forth, and that's essentially the motion. You're using your waist to propel your arm in the opposite way of your low block. So you could do a conditioning drill where you hit down, and that can work to help you build up that forearm strength, but then you're good to go. So you're either hitting with your forearm or the inside of your elbow. So to begin with, you start in Chumbi, you bring your knuckles just above your hips, so your two knuckles should rest on your hips comfortably, and then you just step forward, swing, and then step forward, swing. Oftentimes, because of the form Pyeongsamdan, this move is associated with the back fist. So you go one way, you come back and back fist. So for a lot of this video, I'll be showing it with the back fist because it kind of flows really well. You block and then come back, block and then come back. That is essentially the block. You could do it in a side stance like the form, but you can also do it in a sparring way where you're in a front stance and just parrying your arm. Usually I will keep the hand loose when I do this off the hip, so it'll be here, but it's meant to block. The application that you'll see later is to block a mid-level roundhouse, but it can also block a punch or someone trying to grab you. In order to train effectively, we need to build good habits, and a lot of times this is to get rid of the common mistakes. So first common mistake I see is in the traditional way, the knuckles don't sit on the hips correctly, and then for the angles there. So don't have your hands open, don't have your palms up or your palms down. Your palms are facing back and your two knuckles are sitting on the hips, as we talked earlier. So make sure the hands are in the right place and the fists stay closed for the traditional way. In the sparring way, you can have your hand open if you prefer. The next common mistake is people not looking as they block. So because they're turning their body, they tend to turn their whole head and then they can't see what they're attacking. So always make sure that you're looking at your target. Don't take your eyes off. And the last one is they over exaggerate the movement and lean forward as they block. Therefore, bad posture. Therefore, again, you'll probably look away. So make sure your back is straight as you're rotating and you're keeping everything shoulders over hips. Once we feel that we have the technique down, it's always important to test it. The first one is just to have a partner in front of you with either two pads, or we're using paddles today, where I just stay still and then hit with the forearm, elbow, and then come back with the back fist. And I'm trying to rotate, come back, rotate, come back. And that way the student can see that it's combative movement and not just swinging your arms any way possible. The next test is if someone tries to grab you, start with the arm out and you just hit with the forearm, elbow area, and then come back with the back fist while catching. And this is an application from Pyeongsamdan, and you can do it from the outside of the body, that's preferential way, but it'll also work from the inside of the body. And you just block, grab, and back fist towards the face. And the last one is kind of a sparring drill. If you have an opponent who doesn't head kick or prefers to do mid-level roundhouse kicks, you can parry that block, come back with the back fist and the punch, or just a block and a back fist, or you can use that motion to help you to spin into a spinning back fist. Or you can use that motion to spin into a spinning back kick. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial on the elbow block. If you have a name for it that I haven't used today, please leave it in the comments. And until next time, Tangsu.